come with me to buy my mom her first piece of David Yurman jewelry. And I'm so excited for her. So, if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with my mom. I love her to death. And I literally just try to do right by my mom, okay? This is somebody that I do not play about. I love her to death, as you're supposed to. As I had said before, gifting my mom is so hard because my mom is somebody who just loves life. Like, she's not a difficult person, right? Like, I can't explain it, but one thing that I can say about my mom is that she has supported me through every obstacle, every journey, every heartbreak, every, breakdown. She's just, oh, hold on, moisturizer. She has just been there for me through it all. Through it all. And, for that, when holidays or special events come up, I get her whatever the fuck she wants. And I'm blessed to be able to do that. When I was on my journey moving to Atlanta, a lot of my family judged me. A lot of people had outside opinions, but one person that never, and I mean never, judged me, okay? Even when she found out I was shaking ass, never judged me. She just was like, if you like it, I love it, And for me, there's a very big difference between my mom and my dad and the relationships that are there. I'll get into that one day. But with my mama, I do not play about her. I do not play about her one bit. And it's just because she brought me into this world. And she will let you know she will take me out this bitch. But yeah, so today is her birthday. And I pretty much had texted her and asked her, hey, what do you want? Because one thing about my mom is she is very specific, okay? I learned early on when I bought her first Louis bag to not buy her shit that she doesn't approve because she won't wear it. So for me now, I just say, hey, what do you want? And we just go from there because how it was in the beginning when I first started making money, I would just buy shit and she wouldn't wear it, like literally would not wear it. So for me, I started really just asking her, hey, tell me what you want, right? So what she sent to me, this is to tell you how country my mom is, which is nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with them. But, she don't know about the designer stuff for real. She don't give a fuck. She's fulfilled in life just knowing that, like, all of her kids, we all have our own lives going on. None of us are, really, messed up. And when I say messed up, I mean, like, none of us just really, there's a lot of families that have different things that are happening or go on within their families. But one thing my mom could say is that all three of her daughters, even though life is hard and we go through our obstacles, it's like she still did a good ass job, So for me, I just feel like it's the time where I'm at in life right now to provide as much as I can so that my mom doesn't stress or worry, and she always knows that I got her back just like she had mine. Just like I said, when I first moved to Atlanta, like, my mom, she was in full support. She was like, I mean, if that's what you want to do, then do it. And I was like, all right. She didn't believe me at first, okay? She did not believe me at first at all until I literally called her from Atlanta and was like, yeah, I'm in Atlanta. And she was like, oh, okay. But while I was running up and down the interstate trying to make something happen for myself, my mom had helped me a lot with Prince, but also Prince's dad was in his life. But my mom was there in reference of making sure that the ball didn't get dropped at all. And so for that, I just make sure to try to be the best daughter I can. Now, I am my mom's headache daughter as well. I'm the headache child. I'm the middle child. I'm the one that starts the most shit. I'm definitely the one that's in the most shit. And you know, what a lot of people don't realize is even with this internet shit, I'm not the only one that goes through it. My family goes through this as well, you know. It be nosy ass people that haven't called my mom or talked to my mom in years that'll call and be like, oh, is everything okay with Courtney? And da da da. And I'll be like, when she calls me and tells me this, I'll be like, Mom, these people that call you, when's the last time they called you? And she'll be like, oh, I haven't heard from them. And I say, yeah, stop picking up for them. They're being fucking nosy. And so it's like, even with everything that I have going on, my mom knows who her child is. She knows who her daughter is. But it's like I've also kind of had to train her in a way. And when I say train, I mean educate her on the things, you know, in my life. You know, my mom, from the outside looking in, any mom would see my life and the stuff that I go through. Hold on, I use B40 Chanel concealer and B40 in the Chanel Les Beige tinted foundation. But yeah, like any mom that would have a kid like me, you know, where there's a lot of controversy on the internet, there's always outside opinions, outside people in, you know, their lives asking them stuff about me and stuff like that. You know, it's not a lot of easy questions to answer. And my mama don't have a regular daughter. But what I could say is that she, you know, supports me through every endeavor, okay? And she makes sure that ain't nobody playing with her motherfucking daughter. Yeah. So for me, right, when I first moved to Atlanta, I was very distant from my family. Like the only person I talked to was my mom. And that was just because I would hear the background commotion. I would hear the shit that was being talked, you know, from, you know, second or even first cousins sometimes, and like, you know, my aunts and stuff like that. And not all my aunts, just certain ones. And so I pretty much would tell my mom, like, in a couple of years all that shit talking is gonna go mute. I said, and then those people will want to be around. I said, and when that time comes, they can't come, you know? And what I've always got my mom to understand is that no matter what I've been through, you've always been my mom. And so now, where life is, y'all, I'm recreating my TikTok showcase and putting everything in it that I use so that y'all know. I have already started the list of everything, but I want to make sure that I get everything in there. But yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, like, one thing about it, my mom, she's always believed in me. You know, everything that I've always told her I'm gonna do, she'll be like, all right, Courtney. And then I do it. And she has now, like, no, like, she always knew that I was, like, a gifted child. But, like, now she, like, knows for real. Like, if my daughter says she's going to do something, she's going to do that shit. And, like I said, for the longest, I had put a lot of distance between me and my main, like, family, my immediate family. And that's just because, you know, when you start to build and you start to create a name and a brand for yourself, family stops treating you like family. They start treating you like a fucking celebrity. And for me, I don't like that. When I go home for the holidays, when I go around my family, I want to feel like Courtney, not Gorgeous Doll. And for me, I feel like you could tell a lot by how people act when you come around during that little amount of time. You can tell what those people are saying behind your back or doing, or, you know, saying about you. And my main thing is that one thing I know is that nobody on this world can go to my mama and say anything about me, okay? But yeah, the one thing about it is, like, I'm one of three sisters and my mom is one of three sisters. So there's, like, you know, we have a pretty decent sized family, but I myself kind of separated myself from a lot of my family. And the reasoning in that is because when I first started dancing, right, nobody saw my vision. Let's get into part two. I'm gonna drag this out. We're about to do this. Get ready with me to go buy my mama this, and then, you know, we're gonna go all the way up to the store.